So we're back here on the Duncan Duo Show. We talked earlier in the show about appraisals and how one appraiser coming from a different area can view things completely differently than another. And now I've got interesting take on the Tampa metro area for real estate markets, because over the last couple of months I've seen plenty of articles talk about how Tampa is one of the best investment markets in the country, one of the best options for people to buy. We've had great appreciation, all these types of things. Yet, a different journalist, maybe they're from the fake news generation, came out with an article saying that the Tampa metro area is one of the worst in the country.
Probably from like
for real estate
Jacksonville
markets.
or something.
It's from the Tampa Bay Business Journal, to be honest, and it says that a study from Wallet Hub, so she's reproducing a study. Study ranked 300 cities across the U.S. and placed Clearwater at 227, St. Pete at 221, and Tampa at number 143 on the list. Each city was compared across 22 indicators of housing market attractiveness and economic strength. So I find this interesting that and it goes back to the point I think we made earlier. You can really find data to support whatever you want to find it to support. You could take a different study and show how fast homes sell and how much appreciation we've seen and how much job growth we've seen and say that Tampa is one of the highest. But whenever I see an article that says that we're one of the lower ones, to me that means we're probably undervalued. It's probably a good time to buy. It means prices are probably going to rise, So I don't necessarily, that would be like saying, are you going to go out tomorrow and buy the stock that's been the #1 fastest growing stock forever and buy it at its highest point? Or are you going to buy the one at the lowest point that's going to rise?
Yeah, I mean, like, that article is, not to get too political, but like, that article is an exact idea of fake news. Like, there's really nothing there. It's just somebody saying, like, oh, this is news. Like, let's take this study and let's say this about Tampa. Then there was another article that came out 3 days ago from the Tampa Bay Times that said, actually, Tampa was the best place in Florida to buy
a house because of all these other reasons, and because we're still very affordable.
Right, because we were the most affordable compared to the other major metro areas of Orlando, Miami, and we also actually have a higher salary than those areas on average. So, you can get the data to support whatever you want. I think with all of the articles that we've seen from countless outlets and everything else, that this is still one of the best places to buy real estate, not just in Florida, but in the entire country. It's still a great place to retire. It's still a great place to invest. And our average salary has risen the most in Florida in 10 years, and our housing prices are still relatively
And they're
low.
working on improving infrastructure, improving roads, improving commerce, all these businesses coming to the area, new restaurants, new developments. All those people wouldn't be opening up stores and businesses here if we weren't a booming economy. The reason why this article is probably published is because it's contradictory to most of the news that's been out there. So just like we see in the national news, whether you watch CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whatever you watch, today news, whether it's an article online, whether it's a TV show, it's meant to sensationalize and get you to watch. So they'll come out with sensational stories to get you to watch, to sell you ads. And that's just the reality of it. Like the news isn't meant to educate you anymore. Every news organization has an angle, including the radio station that I'm on right now. Their goal is selling ads. And so the reality is, and I buy a lot of those ads, so congratulations me. But the reality is that the news organizations pursuit of that, I think over time, because people's attention spans are so short, that the news has to be more and more sensational to get you to watch. It has to. It just is the case to get to just talk about, hey, today normal stuff happened. No one's going to watch it. So now you have to have these sensational, blockbuster, amazing, crazy stories, or people aren't going to listen. So I don't really have any sensational stories to tell you about our business or about the real estate market. I don't have any segue here. So if you're listening, then you're just a real estate junkie and you like keeping updated on what's going on in the real estate market. But that's the reality of it. It's people that are likely listening to our show are probably very loyal to this station, or they're probably very real estate focused with their life, because we're obviously not giving them that sensational story. I can show you the memes that Mike Yates sends me on my phone, and maybe those would be kind of sensational.
Probably not a good idea.
But the reality is that this article is a perfect example of how different organizations can view what's happening in the real estate market differently. You can see one news organization come out and say the market's great, and then another come out and say it's bad. Just like you can have one news organization come out and say the president's terrible, and another one come out and say he's the most amazing guy on earth. So
I mean, I think that you can take anywhere in the country, and our average price, according to this one article, is $238,700. I mean, if you can get a single family home in an area with rents that are as high as ours, which is what a lot of the hedge funds looked at when they were buying a lot of properties here. If you can get a home that's average price that for average rent price of what's around here, and you hold it long term, have some good renters in there, and then turn around and sell it, you're going to do well on your investment.
yeah, and I think that's really the key. If we were such a bad real estate market, you wouldn't have all these enormous institutions coming in here. You know, you have these large hedge funds. By the way, if you hear the ads of the large hedge funds on air that they're going to buy your house, I'll buy it for a better price. So just call me instead. You know, go to the DuncanDuo.com. You know, don't listen. You're going to hear ads, and obviously you're going to hear ours too. And you know, we're definitely in the business of selling homes, but we'll give you immediate cash offer for them too. We bought a few this week. You know, but these large, enormous Wall Street hedge funds that are coming into the market wouldn't be coming in and buying the volume of homes that they're buying with all the research they've done if our market was the 200 and something worst in the country. You know,
The numbers don't lie.
No, the numbers don't lie, and they're not in every market. Some of these companies are in maybe a dozen markets across the country, and they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars buying homes here. You know, there's a reason. It's because Tampa's an incredible real estate market. So I don't care what the data shows. I follow the money. You know, the money trail of how great a real estate market is going to show you way better than some economists, you know, with a calculator, you know, telling us what's good and what isn't. The money flows to what's good, and in Tampa, there's plenty of money flowing in here, you know, buying up real estate.